friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Madison. I'm so happy you're here, and in today's video we are going to be doing yet again another monthly reading wrap-up, this time for the month of June. I managed to read 9 books this month, and I want to tell you all about them. And if you want to fangirl with me, maybe get some book recommendations, just keep watching. Let's get into it. So we have my new Olivia Rodrigo shirt. I felt it was only fitting because I pretty much exclusively listened to only her new album the month of June, and will continue to do so the rest of the year. It's so freaking beautiful. No skips. Love it. So yeah. Anyway, the first book I read for the month of June, I don't have a physical copy with me right now because my friend is borrowing it still. I finished up my reread of the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang. Guys, 5 stars, first of all. Wow. What a brutal, heartbreaking finale to this trilogy. It will always have a special place in my heart, and I think about Rin and Katai and Neja every single day. I love them. It was a masterpiece of a trilogy. I loved rereading it because I felt like the first time I was like, where is this gonna go? What's gonna happen? And had my heart ripped out. But the second time I knew it was coming, but also I could pay attention to a lot of more details on the lore and the history and everything, and it never fails to just punch you in your gut, for lack of a better word. The second book I read was The Hobbit. My first time experiencing how beautiful is this cover, by the way. $4 on Mercari. What a steal, am I right? This was on Thrift Books, and this edition specifically was $45. And then I found it on Mercari for $4. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love this book. I know why it's a classic now. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. It just wasn't a 5-star read for me. I mean, it could potentially. But I felt like it got a little slow towards the end, and then his journey back was like really rushed. And I would have rather, done more about like his reflection of his journey back and how much he changed, rather than spending so much time like in a cave and in the mountains and like not much was happening. But all in all, amazing book. I love Bilbo so freaking much. One of my all-time favorite characters now. He is so relatable. He just, he wasn't adventurous. He wanted to stay in the comfort of his home. Oh my god, they gave me a bookmark and I didn't even realize. It fell out of the book. I didn't even open it, I guess, and see that. Wow. But yeah, sorry, sidetrack. He wasn't adventurous. He wanted to stay home in the comfort of his hobbit hole with his books and his armchair and his relaxing routine, and he really got out of his comfort zone and grew from it. It was so whimsical, so witty, so adventurous, and it just felt like a cozy, warm hug to read, and also to, just finally understand the prequel to Lord of the Rings and, how it all came to be. I just started The Fellowship, Lord of the Rings, first book. I mean, technically, it's like a volume because it's all one book. I know that now after reading all the notes and prologue. But yeah, what an amazing, amazing book. So happy I read this one. Definitely one of my favorites of the month and of the year. After The Hobbit, we read Emma in Lion, Volume 6. And there were a couple books in between, but I also read Volume 7. 6, timeout. Actual timeout. But no, I'll talk about these together. And again, I'm not going to say a lot about these because I am filming a reading vlog. But just know these were both 5-star reads. I don't think it's possible for any volume I read now of Emma to be less than 5 stars. I can't even begin to explain what this series and these characters mean to me. It's such a beautiful, whimsical world. I feel like I say this every time I talk about it, but it's true. It's the perfect balance of, whimsical and silly and unserious, and then you'll turn around and it's most heart-wrenching, tender, deep, meaningful growth and experience, and just the way we can, express vulnerability in such a beautiful, raw, authentic way, but it's still being a work of fiction. And also the elements of it being a historical fiction, being set in the 1800s in London, and I don't have enough words to say how much I love these characters. And it's been so fun watching them grow. I'm going to have all my thoughts in part 2. I only have one more volume to read that is currently out, and then I will get started on putting together all of the footage and getting the reading vlog part 2 up for you guys. It has been such a fun journey and took me way too long to get here, but I'm here now. And I'm staying. The next book I read was Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I really enjoyed this one. Nothing will ever be One Golden Summer for me. It's her best work ever. It's so beautiful. It's Charlie's story if you're unfamiliar with her universe, but anyway, this one I really loved. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I thought it was going to be a 4-star read for me, but ended up being 4.5 because the ending was so beautifully well done. She wrapped up everything in such a beautiful bow. I really, really loved it. Sorry, I'm itchy. I buddy read this with my best friend, Jenny. We had such a fun time reading this together. And yeah, I just loved, the references. They talked a lot about Joe and Lori from Little Women, and that's my shit right there.
Frappuccino.
That's my shit right
That's
there.
my shit right there.
controversial opinion, I did love Joe and Lori together, and they are the platonic soulmates that become romantic. And to watch their story, you know, evolve the way it did, and then also have like flashbacks in between, I love that. I love a good timeline jump back and forth between the chapters, so you find out what happened in their past as you're reading along with their present. And I don't know, I really, really loved it. I don't have too much to say other than the reason I was going to give it 4 stars is because the female main character is kind of like so oblivious, like obtuse, and it really pissed me off. Like, this hot, sexy man who's your best friend and knows you better than you know yourself is so obviously in love with you if you don't jump his bones right now. But at the end, she has this, like, you know, reflection and healing, and, you know, her being obtuse and not getting her hopes up, and it was a way of protecting herself. It was a coping mechanism from her fear of abandonment. Like, if she doesn't read into things, like if she doesn't get her expectations too high, like she can't be hurt or let down, and that was very relatable. So I did forgive her for that, and I just thought it was very beautiful, very well done, very happy I read this. Love Carly. She's kind of a hit or miss, but again, One Golden Summer. I've only read 3 books of hers, and I think my ranking is One Golden Summer, Our Perfect Storm, and then Every Summer After. Every Summer After I gave 4 stars, and if you know, you know. But yeah. Okay, rambling. Next up, I don't have a physical copy of this book yet, but that will be remedied soon. I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. It was my first book by this author, my first dip into her Shadowhunter universe. I'm so excited to finally, you know, be on this journey. I'm reading these books with my Valkyries, Celine, and Maria, and we're having so much fun. This book was so, we talked about this. It was so of its time, like circa, like, when did this book come out? Let's look it up. It came out in 2007, and it was very, like, 2010s, like, but it was amazing, and I loved it for that. Like, it was kind of, there were moments that were, like, kind of cringy, but, like, if I had read this book when I was in middle school, would have been my entire personality. I had so much fun with this book. I felt like the world building and the exploration of the magic was so easy to digest, and I love the characters. Jace really reminded me a lot of Jax from Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I love that. I thought Clary was such a fun female main character, and I've already started book 2. I'm super excited to continue, and yeah, I ended up giving it 3.75 stars, but like, that is so solid and so real, and I really, really enjoyed this book for what it was, you know? And I had so much fun. Great first book, a great introduction into the world, and I had so much fun. Next, we had a really quick, fun read. I borrowed Shady Hollow from Libby. I listened to it on the audio and followed along on my Kindle. Shady Hollow is like a cozy murder mystery, and they're all little woodland creatures. And it was so fun, so cozy, so, I don't know, it was just, again, it felt like a perfect little palate cleanser, cozy. It was so cozy. Okay, I'm not gonna say that word anymore. I did give it 3.5 stars. It would have been higher, but I really didn't like the ending. I didn't like, and I'm the most laid back, chill person when it comes to books and like rating them and stuff, but I really didn't like, they pinned it all. There were like 2 murders, 2 like totally crazy plot lines, and they pinned it all on one girl, and I didn't enjoy that ending. Because I support female rights and wrongs. And I thought it was too, clean. I was theorizing and I was thinking about what, who it could be if it was like a group effort, and I felt like it wasn't satisfying at the end. But I did love all the characters. I loved all the little woodland elements. I thought it was so fun. And I think there's like 5 or 6 books in the series, so I would definitely, continue the series, and because I think I would like another one of those books, and maybe the ending would be more satisfying to me. Okay, we are down to the last 2 books of the month, and that is Nothing Like the Movies by Miss Lynn Painter. I was so excited to be back in the world of Wes and Liz. I absolutely love Better Than Movies. It was a 5-star read for me, and I just feel like Lynn, her books are for the fangirls. It's a love letter to, loving love stories, and she's one of my favorite young adult romance authors. So yeah, I got this book when I was in Iowa, and I requested all of the audio versions on Libby, and this one came through right away. So me being the mood reader that I am, I immediately was like, this will be perfect. And it was. He was playing baseball in college, so it kind of fit the summer vibes. This book is so much sadder than Better Than Movies. And a lot of people didn't really like it because there's a lot of conflict, a lot of hurt, a lot of sadness. But I enjoyed it. I love a second chance romance, and I ended up giving this book 3.75 stars as well. And I rounded it up to 4 on Goodreads for Wes Bennett alone, the man that you are. Oh my god. I love adult POV. Love the audio. The narrators are so good. And he's just a king of yearning and pining. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Happy I read it. And that's all I have to say. And we've done it, guys. We have arrived at the last book for the month of June. And this one was actually so fun because I started this on June 29th. So I really wanted to hit my quota of 9 books a month. And I thought it would be a fun little challenge to see if I could read one more book in kind of like 24 hours. and I filmed a little reading vlog of it, so that will be my next video out. But it was The Rom-Comers by Catherine Center, and this was so much fun. This was my first book by the author, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was very entertaining, super enjoyable, and I didn't love the Charlie, the male main character. There were a couple red flags, and like, I get being a nonchalant, a little douchey to protect herself, but like, wrap it up. And he did this kind of the whole book. He would like lean in and be romantic, and they had a lot of sweet moments, and then he would push her away. And I know he was doing that because he thought it was better for her, but I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I did love the ending. I thought it was so cute. I love when there's a side plot, you know, like a romance, but she also had a really deep, meaningful, like, fleshed out relationship with her dad and her sister, and also her mom that passed away. It was just really tender and beautiful to read. There were so many lovely quotes, and I talk about all of them in my reading vlog, which will be my next video up. So that is it, guys. Those are the 9 books I read for the month of June. I also hit my reading goal of 50 books for the year. Halfway through the year, I'm at 56 books now, I think. And I'm just having so much fun. I've been reading more than I ever have before, and I'm truly just, having a great time. And I love being a fangirl. I love talking about the books I've read each month with you guys here. And if you watch my videos, it really means the absolute world to me, and I'm so happy you're here, truly. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.